Hey guys, it's Cindy over paper.old.new. Thanks for stopping by and spending some time with me today. This is a little bit of a different video. I just wanted to I had this idea and I just kind of wanted to share it. You can, yes, no, do whatever you want with this idea. I have a lot of hardback books that have dust covers. And the book itself looks really nice. It's got a nice spine. It's in good shape. I was just getting ready to start reading this one. I am a Clive Cussler fan, if there's any of you out there that are. My thought was, as you can see, I buy these books used a lot of times. I'll find them in thrift stores, or I'll find them, so they've already been through somebody else's hands. So as you can see, they're a little tattered up here, and they're dinged and scraped up, and they're torn, and the jackets are not always in great shape. Now, this one's in decent enough shape, and I had a thought, and this is what I was going to do with a lot of my hardbacks that have book jackets, not to mention the fact that I don't like trying to keep track of this. So what I thought I would do was, I thought it would be fun to cut the book jacket up and use it with the book, and I'll show you what I mean. So first thing we're going to do, I forgot to get my ruler. First thing we're going to do is cut our book jacket. I know, I'm horrible. I promise I'm not wasting it. I'm salvaging parts of it, and we are going to use the book jacket. Some of you may be looking at it going, oh, I bet I know what she's doing, and that's great. Make sure this is pretty straight. I want the book jacket cut pretty straight. I'm looking at that fold, and it's not straight, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything. So we're going to cut this off. Okay, we've got a nice straight piece there. And we're going to go over here. Now, this I want to be more careful with because I do want to save this piece. Okay? So we're going to cut this, and I haven't done one of these yet, so I'm winging it, and we're going to see how it goes. I really think this will be a fun way to preserve the look of the jacket if you like it. If you don't, of course, you can just get rid of the book jacket, and I mean, Lord only knows, I've had tons of books where the book jacket just ends up in the trash because it gets all torn up or, falls off the book and gets, they get ripped. Well, I thought this might be a fun way to, oops, I just said be careful with it, and here I am not being careful with it. Okay. See, gotta, oh, and it tore the hair. I do not know what's going on with this. Apparently I can't cut with a straight edge, and oh, you know what? This is slipping. That's what it is. Because I don't have my corkback ruler up here. I haven't moved all my straight edges and everything. They're all still downstairs. I'm just using what I've got up here, and this one doesn't have a corkback on it. The corkback helps keep everything from slipping. So without it, it's kind of sliding around, and I'm getting these kind of, come on. All right. There we go. Okay. Now, let's see. This is the exact same size as the book. We are going to need to trim this down some. So let's get in a little closer. I'm thinking, I wonder if, oh, wait, I do. Haha. Okay, let's try again, guys. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in as close on either side to the writing as I'm comfortable with. So let me get like this. Yeah, that's much better. Now it's not moving. Okay. Cut that off of there, and we're still good. And then we're going to do it on the other side. I'm going to trim it. Now, you can decide which parts of the cover you want. Like if you want the fact that they put up here who the main character in the book is. Because this whole series, Clive Cussler is very prolific, a very prolific author, and he has several series, and this happens to be, I think it was his first. And it's Dirk Pitt is the main character in this series, and there are like 20-something books in this series, plus all the other series that he wrote before he passed. I don't know if his son is carrying on his stories or series or whatever. Okay, so we've got that. And then, like, I don't need to know. It's a great advertisement on the book, but I don't need to know that it says it's by the author of Ink of Gold. I already read Ink of Gold. I already know that that's I'm pretty sure it's the book right before this, actually. But I already know that because it's my book and I'm reading the whole series. So I don't need that. Okay. Now, let's see where we are. Do we like that size-wise? I don't mind the dirt pit novel part. And then you can even go through and use, we have all of our accoutrements at our disposal, right? So maybe I want to clip these corners on here. I'm making this my book, okay? And I'm going to glue it on here. I might even take, because it's all beat up and white, like gone white up there. Just going around the edges. I'm not trying to make it so that you could necessarily see this. I'm just making it so that it covers up any of the white. Okay. And then I'm just going to glue it to the front of the book. Now, I'm not going to do that with the spine. And of course, for Dirk Pitt's books, or for Clive Cussler's books, he was a car enthusiast. And in each of his stories, Dirk Pitt also is a car enthusiast and he collects cars. Usually on the back of the jacket is a car that is featured in the book. So he shows himself, the author himself, with the car that is featured in the book. So that's kind of cool. And you might want to keep that, in which case you could do this again with that piece of the jacket and put it on the back of the book where it was, which I may or may not do. I don't know. I have not yet decided. I do like the cars. I think they're neat. So I might. Ooh, look, I'm getting the ink stuff all over the. It's oxide, I guess, so it's kind of not staying on the shiny part, but it got on the shiny part, so now it's getting all over everything. As long as it's covering up the white up there, I'm good. All right. So now we're going to glue this down, and then I'm going to show you what I want to do with I do want to use the spine piece. And like I said, you can then, like they come with these summaries. If you wanted to do the summary, maybe you glue it to the inside. I'm not worried about the summary. I'm worried about the summary when I buy a book. But once I've bought it, I assume that I already read the summary and I like it, so I'm not really worried about maintaining the summary flaps. And again, like I said, you would have to make that decision for your book jacket if you decided to do something like this. I know this isn't the usual junk journaling stuff, but now that I've been busting books up, this idea just kind of came to me when I pulled this book out, and I was like, you know what would be really nice? And I'm just going to glue this on here. And I mean, it's your book. So, I mean, if you wanted to decorate the book or whatever you want to do, that wasn't really my purpose. My purpose was just to put the book jacket on here so that it's permanent. And I don't have to worry about, it falling off or getting torn up or, whatever. I just squeezed a bunch of glue out the bottom down there. Let's see if I can get that off. Yeah, it comes right off. All right. So there you have it. And these book jackets are shiny. You can clean them up with a little bit of water if they get messy. Okay, so there's my book. Now it's got a nice cover on it. I don't have to worry about losing the cover. It's all set. Now, what I wanted to do in this particular case, I have this old piece from a wedding journal. Now, what I'm going to do with this is, again, we're going to try and cut it straight. Right along here, I'm going to try and cut all this excess off. Well, it's not a lot of excess. I just want to trim this kind of jaggedy area where it didn't cut nice with the side of the book. Okay, and then we're going to flip it around and we're going to do the same on this side. I only flip it around because I'm right-handed and it's easier for me to do it from this point of view. Although that may or may not be true with the fact that, okay, you lined it up. It's good. All right, and then we're going to cut this off. Now, this I might have a little more fun with, only because, now, there's the back of the book jacket. If I decide I want to add this to the back of the book jacket, I may. If I did, I would probably cut it so that, you know, I didn't have it might have a cut bottom. I don't necessarily want the barcode on it. I mean, if I'm going to make the book look nice, I don't necessarily need all that. Okay, now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to glue it to a backing. As you can see, it's flimsy. It's just a piece of book jacket. So we're going to glue it on here like this. I'm going to try and get it as straight as possible so that the lines on the back are straight. The lines I thought would be neat to use as, like, maybe you could write, as you're reading the book, you could write a favorite quote on there, or you could list your, like, when you first started reading the book, like the first time and when you finish it. You could, you know, just anything that you wanted to keep track of as far as reading your book. Maybe you don't want to keep track of anything, in which case, that's fine too. Your book, your rules. Okay, so we're going to put this down on here. And I'm going to really carefully try and get these to stick and kind of repair that. So it doesn't look great, but it's stuck now. Okay? And it's damaged. It gives it character. You know, all that kind of good stuff. So, and I'm trying to get the curl out of it. It's got kind of a curl, so I want to see if I can't get it to lay flat. Okay. All right. Now what I'll do is I'll cut it out. We'll cut it up this side. Well, there we go. Okay. And what I thought would be fun to do with the spine is you would use it as your bookmark in the book it came from. So this would be a bookmark for this book. And it could stay with the book. So when you pull it out of its cabinet, it always has a bookmark with it. Because if you're anything like me, I'm constantly trying to find something to throw in the book as a bookmark. You know, an old card, you know, whatever. I'm always trying to find something to use as my bookmark. I think I'm going to cut that off. Okay, so there's my bookmark. And there's the back. So it's got lines on it. And you could, like I said, you could put a favorite quote as you read. You could put number of pages. Whatever information you want to save about the book, you could do. If you don't, use something else. Back it on file folder. Back it on cardstock. Back it on anything you want to back it on. But I thought it might be fun to have something where you could write a favorite quote. These books happen to have lots of funny quotes in them. And, you know, it would be maybe fun to write some of them down. All right, so then I'm going to, I like rounded corners on my bookmarks. I like rounded corners on just about anything. Who am I kidding? Okay, so we've got that. And then, what else? The only other thing I was thinking, and I think they might be too wide, is you could put a whale tail tab up here and then dangle something off. You know how bookmarks sometimes have like a ribbon dangle or some sort of dangle on them? So maybe you don't put a whale tail punch up there. Maybe you put an eyelet through there, or maybe over in the corner. Punch a little hole here and stick an eyelet through there, and you could dangle something off of it. I don't happen to have, I think my crocodile and my eyelet stuff is all downstairs still. I don't think I've brought it up yet. But that would be the idea. And then I would just stick this in here, and I have a bookmark to go with my book. And it, you know, there you go. And this would stay with the book. So anytime I wanted to take this out and read this book, it has a bookmark in it, which is wonderful for me because, like I said, I'll grab any kind of scrap. I could be sitting at my desk and I decide to start reading a book, and I would grab, this to start, or maybe this if it's sitting there, and just shove it in my book because I don't necessarily have one to hand and I don't have a collection of bookmarks. So I thought that, keeping a bookmark with the book might be kind of fun. And you'll always know what book it goes with because it's the spine from the book jacket. So, I don't know. I hope you guys like this. It was just a quick little fun look into an idea that I had. And, you can give it a try or not, or just look at me like I'm crazy and move on. And I will talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.